Today we're at the Salisbury Presbyterian Church of Midlothian, Virginia at their giving garden. And we're here today with Bill Muth, who is one of the team members for the garden, and we're going to talk about how to grow sweet potatoes for your garden. Bill, we've got a big display in front of us here, so can you walk us through how we're going to propagate some sweet potatoes?
Sure. Now, you can buy sweet potato shoots at a number of different places, but we found that we like to try and grow our own. So basically, as far as the potatoes go, I go to one of the grocery stores in the area and buy organic sweet potatoes. And I also try and buy sweet potatoes that are narrow enough to fit into the jars we use to propagate them. But you just really take a sweet potato, cut it in half, put, say, 3 toothpicks into it about a third of the way down, and put it into water. And then let it set. And over time, is probably over 2 to 3 weeks, that sweet potato will begin to do this. 1, it'll begin to grow roots. 2, it'll begin to put out shoots. And the shoots are what you want in order to propagate the sweet potato.
I'm noticing that the jars seem to be with clear liquid, and you didn't put anything on the bottom of that potato. Do you not treat these with any rooting hormone or chemicals?
No, we don't. And now maybe that would help. How do I want to put it? If you look at this display, you will see some very productive potatoes, and you will see some very non-productive potatoes. I don't know what makes the decision. Maybe it's one end versus the other. It may be that, you know, there's a productive end and there's not. But for those that throw off shoots, it's not unusual to get 3, 4, or 5 shoots off of a single potato. But so, you know, the process from that point is you let those shoots get bigger, and then I'll use this one because we've got a big shoot here. Now this one, not only is it a shoot, but it appears that it's already got roots growing. Not all of them do. All I do is I take my knife and I cut a plug of potato out around that shoot. So you end up with basically this, a plug. In this case it has roots. If it didn't, it wouldn't matter. And the shoot. You simply take that and put it into a jar of water. The roots will develop over time. If it does, they'll just get bigger. Once the shoot has grown more and it has developed a good root system, and I think this is one that has a good root system,
Yep.
You end up with something like this. That's what you plant. So, but it really is a fairly simple process. The issue, and we run into at times, do we get enough shoots for all the potatoes we want to plant? So this year we will probably have to go out and get some shoots because I haven't been as successful as in the past.
And you said you just got these from the grocery store, so this is whatever the variety was at the market. You all really don't focus a little bit on different varieties.
We don't on these. If I went back and looked, I could look up what variety are basically sold commercially. There is one specific variety that is typically the main variety sold in the grocery store. All I do is make sure that I have purchased organic ones. So.
Well, thank you for showing us how to propagate them. We're going to go ahead and move into the garden and plant some. So Bill, we're out here in the garden now, and you're going to show us how that you plant slips in the garden.
Sure. So when we plant these slips, if I remember, this is from memory, I have to check before we actually do it in bulk, but I believe they get planted about 15 inches apart. It may be a little more than that. And all we're really going to do is dig a hole that will be deep enough to put about 1/2 to 2/3 of the slip down into. So we have our hole, and then what we do is we put a bit of our organic fertilizer in, because these potatoes like to be well fed, okay? And then we would take the slip, and you can see the extensive root system that it has.
Yep.
Put that down into the hole, and then basically pile the soil around it. And then what will happen is, obviously, this shoot will continue to grow, the root system will continue to grow, and then once the root system continues to grow, it'll begin to form the sweet potatoes underground. Now, the interesting thing that I find is, I learned this last year, is there are 2 really good things to eat here. Sweet potatoes, once you have pulled them out of the ground and let them set for a bit of time, and the shoots are wonderful.
Okay.
The ends of the shoots, maybe about this long, you can clip them and saute them like other greens, and they're very good.
I hadn't heard of that, so that's great. And so then to finish it off, we would just give it some water, make
That's it.
sure we're watering it enough to get rid of the air pockets down by the root, and we're good to go.
Okay, so then we can put the second one in, and let's say here, we'll do it right about here. We'll dig our hole. Come on. Put in some of the fertilizer. Get the slip, which also this one has extensive roots. Put our soil around, damp it down, and water it.
Perfect.
And then they need to get watered regularly, particularly early on while they're
Until the roots get established.
That's right. After that, you don't want to water them too much because then the potatoes will begin to rot if they're too wet.
Well, Bill, thank you so much for talking to us today about planting sweet potatoes.
Glad to.
For more information about gardening, contact your local extension office and talk to a master gardener.